Okay, students, we see you again. Today I want to discuss about the last part for the paper 2. There's a section C. Okay, section C, actually we got 3 of the question. There's a question 10, 11 and also the 12. Okay, from this part of the question, we're going to see how to answer it. Okay, suppose the question 10, there's a compulsory, there's a one of the experiment. Then the 11 and also the question 12, actually you can choose either one of the question. Okay, now we're going to see some of the example format of this kind of the question. Okay, let's try together. Okay, let's see the first part. We're going to see the question 10. Okay, question 10 is a one of the experiment question. Okay, we're going to see how to answer it. Okay, first one, they say the apple, they cut and left on the table will be oxidized. Okay, now they reduce the oxidation. The cut apples can be soaked in the salt water and also the lime juice. So from here you can see the table. Okay, left the table for the they left the apple slices for 10 minutes. So from here, if we just left the apple on the table after 10 minutes, so that means they will change the color. So from here, the question statement, they just say you want to solve this one problem. You can add it inside the salt water and also the lime juice. Okay, now we need to suggest one of the hypotheses to investigate the above statement. So that means the hypothesis, you must refer the statement. So this statement say we want to solve the oxidation problem. So we need to put the apples in the salt water and also the lime juice. Okay, now we go and check, is it the answer like that? So the salt water and also the lime juice, they can slow down the oxidation process on apple. Okay, you need to mention about the statement from they give you. Then after that, we related with the apples and also the salt water and lime juice. So from this one experiment, there's a compulsory experiment. So from this diagram, then we can guess. Actually, the experiment is related to what? So normally, there's a clear experiment because they just say about the apple and also the oxidation. Then the question already give you the lime juice and also the salt water. Okay, now we need to create the experiment. Okay, let's check the following question. Okay, now you need to, based on the statement, you need to plan more experiment to investigate the oxidation of the apple slices can be reduced by the salt solution and also the lime juice. Okay, your description should be including the following criteria. The first one must be the aim. Aim is 1 mark. Then you must mention the variables. Variables got 2 marks. Then after that must be the apparatus. Then the procedure. Okay, procedure must together with the drawing. Okay, your drawing also must be labeled. And the last one is the tabulate the data in the table form. Okay, now we go and start the aim. Aim, normally we start the word is to investigate. Okay, from this one citation, what we want to investigate. We just want to investigate for the apple slices. When you just put inside the salt solution and also lime juice, another one should be the original. Just put on the paper, we see what happened. So this one is what we need to see about that. Okay, now we're going to check the aim. To investigate the substance that can be slowed down the oxidation process on the apple. So that means the substance means this one solution. Okay, we do know which one solution can be reduce the oxidation, so we need to check. So from here, the aim must be investigate which one substance can be slow down the oxidation. Okay, now the variable. So from here, the variable means we separate by 3. One is the manipulate variable. After that should be the responding. And the last one should be the constant variable. Okay, so from this one question, actually what is the manipulate variable? So that means from this one question, what we control. Okay, we control about the solution, is it? So from here, you can mention the first variable, MV, type of the solution. Okay, responding variable means we cannot control what's the result for the apple, is it? So from here, they say changes of the apple slide. And the last one, constant variable, means we cannot change. First one, surrounding temperature. Maybe the temperature become low, cool. Example, you put the apple inside the fridge, they will be different. Okay, they do not change about the oxidation. So from here, this one must be surrounding temperature must be constant. Okay, another one is the size of the apple. If the apple smaller and also bigger, they will affect the oxidation. So from here, constant variable must be cannot changes, we fix already. Another one you can say about the time taken. The time taken they're supposed to the surrounding, or you say the oxygen. So we just put there with how long, 2 days or 3 days or 3 minutes, like this. So you can say about the time. Okay, time you just suppose just let the apple there. Okay, that one can be the constant variable. Okay, now we go and see the apparatus. What apparatus we need to use for this one experiment. Okay, let's see the apparatus. Okay, apparatus, we're using the white papers. Okay, normally the white paper, we need to put the apples on the papers. Then we're using a knife. Knife want to cut the paper. Beaker want to put the solution. Then we got apple, we got salt solution, and also the lime juice. Okay, after that must drawing. Okay, let's see the drawing. Okay, drawing, we got a slide of the paper on the white paper. A slide of the apple on the white paper. Then after that, the apple must put inside the salt solution. Another one is the lime juice. Okay, this one is a diagram. Okay, next we need to write about the procedure, the step of the experiment, how you do it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, first one we need to label. Okay, label the white paper as a A. A, that means they just got apples only. Okay, number 2, you need to label there's a B. B means the apple plus salt solution. Okay, the papers, number 3, you label as a C. Because the paper is later, you need to put the apple plus about the lime juice. Okay, now you need to cut the apples into the slices. Then put one of the apple slices just on the paper A. Okay, then you soak the second one. Okay, one go to the salt solution, another one you put inside the lime juice. So you need to mention, soak each of the apple slide into the salt solution and also the lime juice. Okay, number 4, you must say the time taken. After 1 minute, so we need a constant. So after 1 minute, you just place the apple slices from the solution. You put into the white paper B and also the C. Okay, after that, we just leave there, okay, for 10 minutes. Leave the 3 apples there for 10 minutes. After that, you go and record what is the observation you can see on the paper. On the apple. Okay, want to see the apple got changes or not. Okay, now we continue. After procedure already, so the next one should be the tablet data. Okay, let's see the tablet data. We must table form. One part should be MV and another one should be RV. So the apple slices, that means the paper just now, you go to label A, B, C, that one become manipulate variable. You also can say about the type of the solution. Okay, but type of the solution, the first one we don't have any solution. So we cannot mention that's empty. So you just say the apple slice, you go to label just now. So A, B, C, the first one should be the empty. We nothing do anything, just put on the paper. So we find it, they turn to brown color. Turn to brown color means what you can see. Okay, actually we know that oxidate. Okay, oxidation already. So from the B, when you put inside the salt solution, color is no changes. C also same, there's a no changes. So from this one paper, what you can say about the conclusion? The conclusion means the lime juice and also the salt solution that can slow down the oxidation on the apples. Okay, so this one is one of the question 10, then you compulsory to be answer. Okay, so the format just like this. They will give you the question, you just follow the question and you go to answer it. Okay, then we continue. So we continue with the question 11. Okay, question 11 is one of the long question, about 10 marks. So we need to answer. Okay, let's see the first one that show about the nuclear fission process from the uranium. Okay, so this one process that give the meaning of the nuclear fission. So based on diagram 11, you need to explain what is the nuclear fission. So you can through the table, go to explain what's a nuclear fission. Okay, nuclear fission actually there's one of the unstable nucleus. Okay, unstable nucleus because the number atom is too large already. Okay, after that they will hit, you can say bombarded by the neutron. After that they will split. Okay, split 2 of the lighter nuclei and also large amount of the nuclear energy. So that one we call nuclear fission. Okay, let's see how to answer nuclear fission. Okay, a process, splitting the heavier radioactive nucleus. Okay, this one called radioactive nucleus. Okay, after that, to the two or more, okay, nuclei which are lighter. That means these two must become lighter and more stable together with release of energy. Okay, but this one question got 4 marks, so you need to answer more complete. Maybe this one just we can get 2 marks only. Okay, when you split, after that produce less energy. Okay, then we see the next 2 marks. Okay, the splitting occur. Okay, why the splitting can be occur? You must say about the neutron. Okay, the neutron, they are bombard a heavier radioactive nucleus. Okay, now the bombardment that causes the nucleus to split into 2 lighter nucleus. Okay, after that, the production a large amount of the heat occur. Okay, this one is a definition. Okay, definition for nuclear fission. So this one you need to explain more detail. More detail how come this process can be occur. Okay, because they're bombarded by the neutron. Okay, from this one bombardment, they produce 2 lighter of the nucleus. Okay, after that, production with the large amount of heat energy. Okay, then you can say about 3 of the new neutron also produced. Okay, so this one is how to explain the nuclear fission by 4 marks. Okay, then the source of the energy is very important in our life, but the cost of the fossil fuel is increasing. So in this one future, our country will expected to start the importing the fuel from other countries. So one alternating sources is nuclear energy can be used to generate the electricity. So you need to explain how the nuclear energy can be overcome this problem. Okay, important, what problem we face. So what the problem? The problem is the fossil fuel cost is too high. So that means maybe one day we need to start import from others country. Okay, so from here, this one is our problem. So from here, they say the first one, you need to identify the problem. So identify the problem is cost for sale is increasing. Okay, after that, we also, this one you don't need to mention, you just say this one our problem, the cost for sale is increasing. So we need to find out the alternating sources to solve this one problem. Okay, this one problem is what? We need to generate electricity. So from here, we need to find the alternating source, okay, that can be used to generate the electricity. Okay, so this one is our problem. So from here, go and state out the problem. Normally, this problem we just copy from the question. Okay, from the question, you're going to find out which one is a keyword. Then you just go to underline, then you draw become one of the sentence. Okay, let's see the answer here. The cost of the fossil fuel to generate the electricity is increasing. So we need to find out an alternating source. Okay, this one is our problem. So from here, the process that you choose, because they say nuclear energy. So nuclear energy is what process? So everybody know there was nuclear fission. Okay, the one is the process we need to choose. Okay, now they might ask you 2 marks. Reason why you want to choose nuclear fission. Okay, after that 2 marks or more, you need to explain advantages if you're using the nuclear energy compared to the petroleum. Okay, 2 marks is normally is a 2 point. So we go to answer the first one, the reason why we choose nuclear fission. Okay, reason, the first reason, okay, together. Okay, the reason we're choosing the nuclear fission, first one, the generation of the electricity technology they're using for the nuclear fission, the process has been used for a long time by any developed country. So not just our country, because many of the developed country, they already start to use, okay, this process. Okay, another one, we need to choose the nuclear fission. Okay, sorry, this one is a fission and not fusion because we choose nuclear fission. So the nuclear fission, that process, that can occur at a high temperature and also pressure. After that, they produce large amount of energy to generate electricity. Okay, important is large amount of energy. So that's why we need to choose nuclear fission. Okay, advantages. Okay, compared to the petroleum. Okay, first one, advantages, does not produce the dust. the ash, and also carbon that can cause about air pollution. Okay, number 2, only just they need small amount of the nuclear fuel, maybe just less compared to the fossil. Okay, we just need a small amount of the nuclear fuel. After that, we can generate large amount of the electricity. That one is a good advantages why we need to choose nuclear fission. Okay, so normally ask you about the advantages too, then you just say first one, no pollution if compared to the fossil, because that one need to burn, this one don't need to burn. Okay, another one, they just need small amount of the sources. After that, they can produce large amount of energy. So this one is the important, we need it, because large amount of energy, they can generate electricity more and more. Okay. Okay, then we finish the question 11. Okay, they normally ask the format like this. Okay, question 12. Matter that exists all around us. There's a matter consists of the tiny and also discrete particles. So from here, you need to give 2 types of the particle. Actually, we learned 3 types already. So we just give 2. Okay, the tiny one, the smallest one, they got atom, molecule, and ion. Okay, so from here, we need to give one example of the substance for every particle that you state. So you give example for atom, molecule, and also ion. Either 2, because you give 2 types. So I give you 3 of the example. Okay, atom, you can say about the metal. Metal, you can mention about the zinc, iron, aluminium. They all is a metal. Okay, after that, the molecule, there's a mixtures. You can mixture same atom, different atom also can. So from here, I can say oxygen gas. You can say carbon dioxide. Okay, that one is a molecule. Okay, after that, we got iron. Okay, iron from here, they must have the charge. Okay, maybe after oxidation, not oxidation, ionization. After ionization, that means they produce the new of the object. So the new of the object, we call it as the iron. Okay, so from here, the iron, there's ion in rust. Okay, the ion in rust, because it changes to another form. So this one is another ion. Okay, you can say about the sodium ion in salt. That one also is another new substance. Okay, so this one is an example for the particles. Okay, now the diagram, they show 2 isotope oxygen atom. So 2 marks give 2 similarity of 2 oxygen isotope. Okay, first one, we know both also is a oxygen atom. Okay, this one is a similarity. Number 2 similarity, you can see about the proton number. Both have the same proton number. You cannot say the nucleon. Nucleon number is a different, because the neutron is a different. Okay, we mentioned 2 similarity. Both isotopes have oxygen atom. Okay, first one, both also is an oxygen. Number 2, they have the same number of protons. There's how many? 8 protons. So this one is 2 marks from this question. Okay, then we continue with the diagram 12.2. They show about the isotope. They are using the widely in the various of the field. So they're using for the medicine, using for the food technology, agriculture, and agriculture. So you need to give one example of an isotope they use for any 2 fields. Okay, one of the example of the isotope. Okay, after that, any 2 fields. So that means you need choose 2 fields. After that, you give the example. Okay, so from here, means you choose already, then you give, then you get 4 marks. Okay, so example here, one example. Normally we mention about the medicine. Medicine is more easier to be explained. Okay, first one, you can say the medicine, they call cobalt 60. So remember, you must know the name, isotope name. That's why you can be answered, because the question asks you to give the example. Okay, so from here I give the name, then I need to explain. Okay, after that you can get 2 marks. Okay, so if I say medicine, then I say cobalt 60. So example, for the treatment, cancer. So this one is the shortest one. That means you're easier to memorize. When I just say about the example for medicine, isotope, you just say cobalt 60. The reason is treatment. What treatment? Cancer treatment. That's all. Okay, another one you put, maybe you say food technology. Okay, food technology, we also using cobalt 60. So cobalt 60 normally they're using for preservation. Okay, so from here you can say used to destroy the microorganism on the vegetables without changing the quality of the food. That means preserve lah, preserve the vegetable for a longer time. So this one is another advantages lah if you're using the isotope in the food technology. So if you say I want to give agriculture, okay, I also give you example for agriculture. Okay, let's see the agrology first. So agrology, we're using carbon 14. Okay, carbon 14, you can study the age of the ancient artifact. So that means the artifact, that how many years ago they died already, that means you can check by trace the carbon 14. Okay, agriculture, there's phosphorus. Okay, 32. Okay, phosphorus 42 is for the plantation. So they want to detect the rate of the absorption of the phosphate fertilizer in the plants. Okay, check about the plants fertilizer. They're using the phosphorus 32. So for the agrology, we're using carbon 14. So you just memorize some of the name from the isotope for certain field. After that, you can give the explanation how to function. Okay, so from here, there's a 4 marks for any 2 of the field. Okay, mention the name and give the example. Okay, then we go to question 13. So this one, question 13 is an addition question. Okay, maybe the format that we come up for the section C, this one is another type of the format. Okay, this one is one of the experiment also. We can see what happened for this one experiment, how to create. Okay, we read the statement first. Okay, before giving any emergency help to an unconscious victim, the procedure of the obtaining the victim's pulse rate has to be carried out. Now the pulse rate is one of the vital signs to monitor the victim's condition. Okay, the importance is of identifying the pulse point at the different parts of the body. Allow the pulse of the victim to be taken at the part of the body without the wounds or injury when providing the emergency help. So that means you need to find out the pulse point for the different part of the body. After that, you want to check the pulse of the victim. Okay, first one, 1 mark. Hypothesis. So from the hypothesis is, you need to find out the pulse point, okay, at the different part of the body, okay, from the victims. Okay, this one is one of the hypothesis. We need to check it. Okay, after you find the different part, after that you need to check lah. Okay, the pulse rate is how many for the victims. Okay, let's see the hypothesis. Okay, the human pulse rate is determined by taking the pulse at the pulse point on a different part of the body. Okay, you get example. So where you want to find, where is the pulse point? So from here, they can say about the wrist, the neck, the temple. Temple means here. This one we call temple. Okay, after that, and also at the back of the ankle. So you give some example, then enough. That's why we need to find the pulse point. Then you get example for the pulse point for different part of the body. Okay, then we base on the given statement, we plan the experiment to investigate the part of the body where the human pulse rate can be determined by using appropriate apparatus. So your description should be including the following criteria. So this one is normally the experiment. They will ask you using the following criteria. So the criteria normally the same lah. We got aim, after that we got variable, we got apparatus, after that we got procedure. Okay, almost the same thing. So we go to check. Okay, first one they say the aim. Okay, aim, what you want to check? You want to check the pulse point. Okay, from the victim, because you want to check the pulse rate. Okay, so from here, you need to determine the pulse rate. Okay, then the identify variables. Okay, what we control from here? We control is a part of the body. Okay, you check about the part of the body. So that one is a manipulate variable. Okay, manipulate variable. The pulse point at a certain part of the body. Responding, that means we cannot control. It's a pulse rate lah. Because different people, they got different pulse rate. Okay, constant variable, the period of the resting before. You can say the rest earlier is how many minutes. You also can say the constant variable is a period you want to check the pulse rate. Maybe you set 1 minute. Okay, then you go to check. It's okay. You can say before, you can say checking. Okay, pulse rate of checking. Okay, now you're going to see about the list of the apparatus. Okay, normally you want to check the pulse rate. We are using one of the important things. There is a stopwatch. Okay, it must have the time, is it? So you can check 1 minute, the pulse rate is how many. So we're using stopwatch. Okay, so from here we continue to procedure. Okay, from this one diagram, we no need to draw anything because this one is one of the involved for the people. So we no need to draw a hand, no need to draw about the leg to measure the pulse rate. No need, we just show that one with apparatus, then we just straightforward go to procedure. So the first procedure here, you got 4 marks. We're going to check how to get 4 marks. Okay, after resting 5 minutes, so make sure you rest the victim, go to rest first, 5 minutes. Then the pulse rate is taken at the pulse point on wrist. So from this one experiment, we cannot say victim, we just say one of the student because you do experiment in the lab. So you take one of the student, you just let the student go to rest for 5 minutes. Then the pulse rate is taken for a pulse point at the wrist. We start with the wrist. Okay, after that, using the stopwatch, the number of the pulses is taken for a period of 2 minutes. They check by 2 minutes and is tabulate. Then you go to jot down. After 2 minutes, the pulse rate is how many? Okay, number 3, the pulse rate is calculated in the number of pulses per minute. Okay, we check by 2 minutes. Then later you need to divide by 2 because you want to find out just 1 minute is how many. Okay, normally we find out the time taken is longer. Then after that we go to divide. Okay, normally the reason why we do like this, we need to reduce the error. So that's why we find more longer time. After that we do the divide. Okay, after divide, then we know 1 minute, there's how many pulse rate. Okay, number 4, you say repeat. You repeat the step 2 and also 3. Okay, after that, taking the pulse rate at the different point, then you give the different points where. Okay, such as the neck, the temple, and also the ankle. Okay, so this one is a procedure. How to solve this one question. Okay, after procedure, sure is a tabulate data. Okay, let's see the table. Okay, the table, we need to mention all the location. Okay, the location of the pulse point you want to check. Okay, so the first one you just jot down the number of the pulses is 2 minutes. After that, you do calculation. You go how about the pulse rate number per minute. So from here, we no need to mention the result because we never do the experiment. Then after that, we also do know the person. Normally, the pulse rate is how many. So we just empty the table. We just write the manipulate variable. Okay, then the rest we just empty. That's all. So this one is the question for the experiment to check the pulse rate. Okay, now we go to the question 14. So question 14, they want to state the 2 advantages and also 2 disadvantages for the genetic for the engineering application in our daily life. If you're using genetic, okay, you see what is the advantages, which one is the disadvantages. Okay, so normally advantages they give you is a 4 point because they got 4 marks. Okay, 4 marks you give 2. Okay, let's see 2 for advantages, 2 for disadvantages. So either 2 marks and 2 marks. Then total is a 4 marks. So from here I give you more of the advantages. Then we can refer. Okay, first one, the genetically for the modified organism, there's a GMO, they form a new species. If you're using the genetic engineering, the technology one, that means you can produce a new species. Okay, new species normally is a better one. Okay, the second one you say about the medicine such as the insulin, enzyme, the hormone, the interferon, and also the antibiotic can be produced in a large quantities. So normally now the person, when you just sick, you can find the doctor, then the doctor will give you antibiotics. So if you give you antibiotic, they will recover faster. So this one is another of the genetic advantages. Okay, after that you can say about the embryo and also unborn baby. They're suffering from the serious genetic defect. Maybe they aborted. Okay, this one is another advantages. Okay, the quality of and also the quantity of the agriculture products. Example, the tomato, the soybean, and also the farm from the animal are increased. So this one is another one that using the genetic plantation that increase the quality and also quantity. So they can prevent the problem of the starvation or you say food shortage. So this one is what is the advantages if you're using the genetic. You can produce a new species. You can produce large amount of the quantities of the agriculture also can. For the technology factory also can. This one is another good thing. We need to use the genetics. Okay, we also got disadvantages. Let's see the disadvantages. Okay, from here you can say about the extinction of the original species. If you produce a new one, that means the original become less. Okay, it's replaced by the new species. They will different of the feeders. Okay, after that, the abuse of medicine. Okay, they produce antibiotic resistant bacteria and cause the incurable and also diseases. Okay, maybe they become drugs. That one is one of the disadvantages if you over to be used, over to be taken. Okay, absorption involved for the moral, okay, the ethical and also the religious problems that need to be viewed seriously and also must be given the proper attention. Okay, example, you are more over the genetic engineering, that means the moral, ethical, and also the religious problem that we produce. Okay, important is the teenagers. Okay, after that, a large amount of the cheap food. Okay, that will lead to an increase in the global population. This will increases the social economy, health, and also the quality of the life problem globally. Okay, the food is no quality already because too much. Okay, so this was another disadvantages. So you just copy either two of the advantages and also two disadvantages. So you can get a 4 marks for the question A. Okay, then we continue. Okay, from the question B, they show about the example for discontinuous variation. Okay, the one is the ability to roll the tongue, another one is a blood group. Okay, so from here, they say you need to study about the concept of the discontinuous variation. Okay, let's check the question. Okay, the first one, your explanation must be identify the common characteristic. So that means you must state about the just now the discontinuous, is it? So I forget it. We go and see back. Okay, just now that one is a discontinuous variation. So you need to give two common characteristics from this one discontinuous. Okay, let's see the common characteristic. Okay, we can check about here. Okay, both refer to the difference between the individuals from the same species. Okay, they're from the same species. After that, they find that they got difference. Okay, after that, both can be divided into several groups that show about the distinctive of the traits between the individuals. That means they got special. Okay, every group, they got any special of the species. Then after that, the species just several only. They cannot separate by more. This one is a two main of the common characteristic. So now we need to relate the common characteristic in order to create the initial concept. Okay, I just want to tell you initial concept. Okay, they got one of the format. Okay, the format is you bring the main from this one topic. There's a discontinuous variation, is it? Because from the diagram. So you bring discontinuous variation, put at the back. That one is how to create a sentence. So the sentence, you just combine these two common characteristics. Then you put the discontinuous variation, you put at the back. Then we go to join. Okay, you see, initial concept. So the initial concept means you not confirm. You just earlier conclusion. So we just say the difference between the individuals from the same species And also they can be divided into several groups. That one is a discontinuous variation. Okay, we go to check. Okay, the difference between the individuals from the same species. So that means you copy here. Okay, then you just put at the word that can be divided. So continue here. That can be divided into several groups. Then you stop. Then you continue the word is discontinuous variation. Okay, so when you see the word initial concept, you need to answer like this. Okay, important, your two common characteristics must be correct lah. Then you can bring to the next question. Okay, now we continue to the next question. Okay, example of the trait of the ability of the human to roll the tongue. Okay, example. So we can give here. Okay, able to roll and unable to roll. You just copy from the question. There's an example. We just got two only. So that's why this continuous variable, they got less of the group. So we just got two group. One is a able, another one is a unable. So from here, you give another example for the human blood group. Copy from the question. So we got how many group? We got A, B, AB, and O. Okay, so this one is an answer. It also can be found out from the table, the diagram they show you. Okay, actual concept. Okay, just now it's the initial. Now it's the actual. So actual concept is normally at the back, the last question. So how to answer actual question? Actual question means you bring the main object to in front. Who is the main object? This one is the main object. Discontinuous variation. Bring in front, after that you add the word is. Okay? Ini je lah. Okay, so that's why ini is who? There's a discontinuous variation. So you just start discontinuous variation is okay. Then we copy just now the two common characteristics. So I just mentioned that two common characteristics is very important. So you must correct. Okay, let's see the answer. Discontinuous variation is, okay, this one must be remembered. This one is a format. The difference between the individuals from the same species that can be divided into the several groups. Is it the same? They just same like the initial concept. They just reverse the object go in front. That one is the differences, initial and also actual. So remember the format. If you know how to write the initial, you must know how to write the actual. But you don't be mistake. Okay? Remember one type, another type you should be understand. Okay? So this one is how to answer the one of the example of the essay question. Okay, essay question. For this type, it's more easier let you to answer because the format almost the same. Okay, if just now they're more harder because they ask about the genetic, is it? So this one is more easier. Okay, then we're going to see the question 15. This one is another type. Okay, just now that type is more easier because they ask you about the initial and final. Let's see this one. This one also one of the essay question. Maybe just now it's 11. This one is a question 12. So you need to choose either one, is it? So better you choose the format like just now. Okay, we're going to see this part how to answer. The radioactive, the radiation can be divided into three. Okay, which are alpha, beta, and also gamma. Okay, state two differences between the alpha ray and gamma ray. Okay, just now it's the engineering, is it? This one is a gamma ray and alpha ray. Okay, the first one almost the same. They ask about the differences, advantages, like that only. Okay, so from here we go to differences alpha and gamma. Okay, alpha ray is a positive charge. Gamma is no charge. This one is the first of the explanation. Okay, for the differences, you say alpha, you say gamma, so you get 2 marks. Okay, continuous. Alpha ray has low penetrating power, but the gamma ray has high penetrating power. So from here, you get 4 marks. Okay, now you can see this part, totally 6 marks. Just now they got separate. They're separate common characteristic, they're separate by the initial concept, they're separate by the example and final actual concept. So that one is more easier to answer. You see, this one is overall 6 marks. If you can answer, it's okay. If you cannot, better we choose the just now that one. Okay, let's see the question. Radioactive radiation is used for the food technology to increase the shelf life of food. Okay, in opinion, it is suitable to be used the gamma ray in the food processing. So give the reason to support your opinion. So you can say you support. You also can say you are not support, but you still need to give the reason. 6 mark. So if you support, you just mention support, that one is 1 mark. That means you need to give 5 more reason to support your opinion. Okay, so this one, that means you need to memorize. Okay, we go to check how to answer this kind of question. Okay, so the first one, okay, I say gamma ray are suitable. So I agree. I agree with using the gamma ray for the food processing. So after that, I need to give 5 of the point to support my opinion. So example, the first one, I say gamma ray has high penetrating power. That means they can kill the bacteria and also the pests inside the can. Okay, this one is the first one. Okay, number 2, they say gamma ray are used for directly, without any adjustment to process the food. Straightforward, they go through using the gamma ray. Okay, number 3. Okay, number 3, the gamma ray do not have side effect compared to the preservation used in the food processing. Okay, they got less lah. We cannot say do not have. They got less of the side effect. You compare the preservation. Okay, then the next one, gamma ray are safe to use if the safety procedure are taken. Okay, if you wear any badge, anything, you can cover yourself. That means actually there's a safety. Okay, and the last one, gamma ray has low ionization power. Okay, because when they just put inside the food, the ionization become low. They do not very fast. Although you put inside your body, or the canned food you put inside your body, the ionization also short. Do not ionize your body cell. Okay, this one is the advantageous if you're using gamma ray. Okay, from this one question, you also can answer by opposite opinion. Okay, you say you are not, say about the gamma ray is not suitable for the food processing. Okay, let's see how to answer. Okay, so from here you can see the first part, you say the food, the gamma ray, they are not suitable used for the food processing. Okay, reason. Okay, gamma ray can be kill the cell of the human cell in the human body and other living things. Okay, number 2, gamma ray, they are leaked from its source, may cause about the environmental pollution. Okay, number 3, you can say about the gamma ray can produce in the medicine. They need to be operated with caution. So although it's safety, but you must caution. And number 4 is it? Okay, number 4, gamma ray are produced by dangerous radioactive substance. Okay, they produced by the nuclear fission after they got gamma ray, is it? So that one is one of the dangerous radioactive substance. Okay, last one, gamma ray are obtained through the process that produce a radioactive waste. Okay, so this one is all disadvantages by using the gamma ray in the food processing. So this type of the question, that means you must more about the memorize, more knowledge about the some situation. We don't know which question can become out. So if they come out the gamma ray, so you must very got memorize about the gamma ray advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so I already show about the type of the essay question from the section C. So compulsory is the question 10. That one is an experiment. So you must do it. So 11 and 12, you either pick one. So depend the question which one format they become out. Okay, if they come out the question just now I show you, question 14. Okay, the first one sure is ask you about the differences, or they ask you about the advantages. Okay, after that the following, they got separate. That means they got sub. That one is okay, because more easier to answer. If they give you the question like this, straightforward 6 mark, you give to answer all. That one is hard a little bit to answer it. Okay, so this one is how I want to discuss the section C question for the science, Form 4 and also Form 5. They almost is the same. Okay, so from here, just thank you for your watching. Okay, so hopefully you understand what I'm talking about that. So you check your answer, then after that you mark it. Okay, just thank you for your watching. Okay, bye. See you again.